it was heavily discouraged really to even do accounting because the fear of automation at that point was so high that no, you're not going to have a job. Obviously that fear is still there now, and we haven't quite seen that pan out yet.
Second try.
Yes.
Welcome everyone. This is a very, very new podcast that we just... Episode 1 that we just started to film.
My name's, good. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah. My name is Justin. I'm the director and sole practitioner of F5 Accountants. Just a one-man band accounting firm running out of a home office.
Awesome. That sounds good. My name is Valentine. I am also director of Fresh Sense Digital, and also running it out of a home office. So
which is where we're at currently.
As you might notice, this place quite more often if you come visit. But yeah, so that's just a little bit about me. Let's hear a little bit more about you, Justin.
We're based on the Gold Coast. I've been here virtually all my life. Parents moved up here when I was 7, and I'm 28 now, so 21 years on the Gold Coast. We met in high school in the Gold Coast. Yep. Let's just say the rest about me. We went to Griffith Uni together, different degrees, obviously. I majored in accounting, and basically been an accountant for 8 odd years now. Basically worked at a firm that was also sort of one-man band style to start. Started that from his home office actually as well. Yep. So I would sit in his one of the spare bedrooms and work in the same office together. So I did that for about 4.5 years, and helped grow that into a team of 8 to 10. That was me obviously just starting as a junior accountant and still at uni part way. Yep. Completed my CA degree, CA caught everything as well, chartered accountant programs. And it was really always my passion to go out and do my own thing. I felt though that I wanted to sort of see how another firm does it as well. So joined up with one of the larger firms on the Gold Coast to see how other accounting firms operate and just to see how they do it on the larger end of town, and took a lot away from that. Was there for about 2 to 2.5 years. Yep. And felt that I had everything I wanted to go out and do myself, and in terms of helping small businesses, that's sort of my passion, helping them do their tax work, compliance work, and advisory style things. And basically had found on the marketplace that there was somebody selling their business, just also a sort of sole person operation. Bought that 6 months ago, and awesome. It's been great, Never
looked back.
No, very, very happy with how things have gone.
So. That's honestly awesome. And so for me, I was born in the Ukraine, and I came to Australia when I was 6 years old. So learning English was needed to happen. I knew nothing when I came, and within about 6 months, I was able to finally communicate with people, which was amazing, I guess. That's what I've been told. And first lived in Melbourne for a few years, and then my whole family, we decided to move to Gold Coast, which is where we're all based right now. And I went to high school with Justin. Always had this passion with computers and tinkering and stuff like that, and really, really loved figuring out why things worked. And that passion stayed with me throughout university as well. Today we have Fresh Sense Digital running, basically help clients figuring out all their business needs and essentially ensuring that they succeed in the digital age that we live in. And it's even more scary today than ever before. There's so many tools that you can use, so many people that you have to, I guess, cater for. And it's so readily available these days that anyone within 3 seconds can judge your business, which is crazy to think. Because what, 10, 15 years ago, if you wanted to promote your business, just go on a newsletter, news agency or something like that, be like, hey, I need you to promote my plumbing business. Like, we're the best in the town. But today you have about 1.5 seconds to maybe about 3 seconds to hook a person in to showcase what kind of work you do. And that's on TikTok, Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think that's part of like why we wanted to do this podcast as well, is to well, for two reasons. One, to be that resource that we would have appreciated having 10 years ago as we finished up high school and starting up, I suppose, university degrees and trying to figure out what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And also because part of this is also we'll be interviewing different business owners and other interesting people on the Gold Coast to hear how they do things and hopefully to take away a lot of their knowledge and copy a lot of what they've done so that we can apply it to our own businesses as well.
And also give it back to the listeners. I think it's really important, especially today's time, to essentially learn off others. And yeah.
Did you always have the passion for IT? Like, do you think you would be where you're at the moment with that, or?
I've always known that I didn't want to just work for someone. It didn't always interest me purely for the fact if I get asked to do something that I don't really want to do, don't really want to do it. It's as simple as that. And that has always driven me to work for myself kind of thing. And also the passions and stuff like that do come from the network that you're within. So the friends that you hang out with make the decisions if you are going to become a business owner or not. The family also makes a huge difference. If your family is not business oriented, 99% chance that you will also not become a businessman. So therefore, the friendships and networks and the influence, it's all has to come from you, more or less. So, and we can see that today.
I'd agree with that. Like my parents, they've basically always ran their own business. Like I think they're the cleaners for most of their lives and did like some floor heating business and things like that. And now like manager, like how would you describe it? Sort of helping manage a complex and everything like that. So they've always been doing their own thing, and I guess part of is what I took away is that I wanted to do my own thing as well, and not so much to be beholden to somebody else. Big part of that for me as well, like growing up, is like I read the 4-Hour Workweek from Tim Ferriss, that talked a lot about business and really like trying to streamline and get a very efficient work business life cycle. I took a lot of inspiration from that book and consumed a lot of books and resources like that. But I think a big problem for me is that I wasn't actually acting on it. I was just consuming the information without actually applying anything I was actually learning. And a lot of that knowledge, I suppose, at this point has been lost. But hopefully now that we have the business that can actually now try to apply some of those things as well.
100%. I feel like with Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that right now, everyone is able to consume what they want to hear, kind of thing. Like, maybe they have that 10% spark in them to become business owners, but consuming is not actionable. It's until you take that leap of faith, and until then, nothing's going to change. Truly.
Like unless you put it what you're learning into practice. You're not actually going to learn it,
Yeah.
or you're not going to really take anything away from it. So
No, 100%.
it's a big part of, I think, us doing this and trying to keep ourselves accountable as well to do that.
Yeah, and we'd love to invite everyone, like anyone who has businesses or who inspire to become business owners, to come and have a chat, just to share knowledge. And I think that's such an important thing. Even if you and your mates are having a weekly chat or fortnightly chat with each other, discuss some business ideas. What did you not like about something that you walked past? Let's say you went to a shop and a person didn't smile at you. Why did they not smile at you? How can you improve that? That's such a small thing. And knowledge sharing is a big thing.
Yeah. So part of what I think I'll try to do is sort of share my experiences with what I'm looking at and how I'm going to try to apply that to the business, and sort of talk about how it goes, and hopefully we'll have guests on as well that can share their insights and what's worked for them. At the moment, reading Alex Hormozi's 2 books that are out at the moment, $100 million offers and $100 million leads. And there's a lot of information packed in those books that are looking to use now that basically for this last 6 months that I've been running the business, I've basically taken on a lot of the, like, obviously done a lot of the work that came with that purchase, but now looking at getting more clients and everything, now that basically done all the work that sort of came with that package now, to really get out there and expand. And it's an interesting space at the moment in the accounting industry. It's I think, if I remember correctly, the average age of the Australian accountant was 40 to 50 plus at the moment, and there's not really a lot of people coming into the industry either. Like I remember when I started in university, that no one, that it was heavily discouraged really to even do accounting, because the fear of automation at that point was so high that no, you're not going to have a job. Obviously that fear is still there now, and we haven't quite seen that pan out yet, but obviously we'll see how things go. But I sort of believe it'll only really be the rudimentary basic tasks like bookkeeping and very basic data entry work that's going to get more and more automated away, and it's going to be more the advisory work, which, helping business owners increase profits, run their businesses more efficiently. That's the level of stuff that accountants will be more and more doing as things go on. So yeah, I would still, if anyone was considering accounting, I'd still, like, we're in desperate need of people coming in, because there's not a lot of people coming into the industry these days. So hopefully more and more people come in. Yeah,
I've heard that the turnover rate, more or less, in the corporate environment, especially in accountants, is high.
For sure.
People burn out very quickly in those kind of situations, environments, and a lot of them feel like they don't know where to go, kind of thing. But with saying all of that, I think it comes with that work-life balance, and what do you really want to have?
Yeah, a lot of people do get burnt out. Especially, like, there's different categorizations of accounting. There's the public sector, which is the sort of work that I do. You work at a large firm, or a firm that gives, helps other small businesses around do their tax work and things like that. Not a lot of money and very stressful hours in that, as opposed to working commercial accounting, where you just work for a big business, typically a lot less stressful, and actually comes with better pay. So people do get burnt out very easily in public accounting, for sure. It's not an easy job.
No,
for sure. But very rewarding, I'd say. If if you aspire to either do your own thing, and a lot of colleagues that, before I did leave to do my own thing, they were talking about, it's a very risky thing to do. But honestly, like, even if my business failed. It's because there's such demand at the moment for accountants. It wouldn't be very difficult for me to go back and get a job if I needed one. So
True.
as far as I was concerned, there was very little risk really in
There's
taking
only
the leap of
benefits
faith.
from uphill from there.
For sure, yeah. And I've learned a lot out of my own. So,
Sure.
but it's been a very rewarding experience so far. So
Yeah,
hope to
definitely.
continue that. Yeah. So like, how's ChatGPT impacted like everything you do with IT these days?
I guess initially when it all came out, everyone was like, oh my God, it's going to replace my job, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, the model is really good in terms of languaging. But in terms of code, at the moment, it's not up to the standard that a human can do code, or conceptualize an idea and work out a solution that's more sufficient based on a client's criteria. So in reality, it's not really impacted in terms of replacement of job. It's definitely there as a helping assistant. So if you want to get some copy done kind of thing, you can ask it, hey, create an article for me for my WordPress website. And then it will spit something out. But the first take is not always the best take. So you kind of either have to refactor it yourself or just ask it a few extra questions. And
So you'd still be mainly like for website development using like the Squarespace and Wix and things like that?
yeah, it really depends on like the client. What does the client want? Does the client want a drag and drop builder? Does the client need a custom built website? Like, it's really in terms of the requirements, right? I guess with a lot of businesses these days, all they want is like an online resume, which is a little static website that showcases what they can do and a way of contacting people.
Yeah, and I think that's basically what you helped. Well, you did it all. Development for my website.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, basically I saw that the way things are these days, you learn most things off YouTube. There's all these tools and resources that you can use, but I still felt it was easy to pay you to do it for me rather than me spending that time. And that's really the trade-off, really. Like, I didn't want to spend the time developing it when I could have spent that time doing client work, and better spend my resources paying you to do it as opposed to me spending hours trying to muck around and figure it out eventually. But it would have just taken far too long.
Pretty much. I think that's a very important point to make is what do you value most, right? Is it learning that new skill of making your own website, which anyone can do, 100%. I'm not saying you can't. But is that time that you're allocating building your own website beneficial for you? Could you be getting clients for your business by yourself when a professional can essentially ask you a few questions and whip out a website for you in a way shorter amount of time and less hassle for you?
Yeah, and I think that sort of applies to most things in terms of like, what do you have more of, time or money when it comes to certain tasks? Like, a lot of the advertising things that we'll be trying out, it probably isn't the most best resource of my time trying to figure it out, but I do want to sort of get that fundamental understanding and applying these things, and then I'll probably get to a point where I'll pay one of my market agency clients to help take over it. Yeah.
I think it's definitely important to understand the fundamentals of anything that you're dabbling into. But I guess the experience and skills of a business that dedicates their business towards one thing would have a lot more experiences and understanding in the space that they work around.
Yeah.
So like for mine, for example, like you can easily just whip out a WordPress website, right? But did you know that you need to, for SEO, for example, you need to incorporate certain keywords to rank high on like Google and stuff like that. So those kind of things you might know to do, but you might forget also. But for us, it's second nature.
Yeah, and I think like a big part of new businesses and business owners is like, a lot of what I find for my clients is they don't have an understanding or a great deal of understanding of how accounting works, how taxes work. And I don't blame them. Like, we're not really taught this at school, are we? Like, it's the education is really not there for that sort of thing, which I think is quite unfortunate. So yeah, like I spend a great deal of my time, especially with the new clients, if they don't have an understanding, helping them understand how the taxes work, why we look at certain structures over others depending on their situation, because yeah, a lot of that understanding just isn't there with how it all works. And if someone hasn't been guided or assisted part through the process, they can be very surprised when they finish the year and not have any idea or have any savings set aside for an eventual tax bill as well, which can be quite a difficult situation to dig out from.
And the tax man isn't always lenient. You got to pay him.
No, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's very interesting for sure. And those little tips and tricks kind of thing is where that experience comes from with any business.
I think a big part of like things that we've been doing that's quite helpful and that we should be doing just in our own businesses is more of the networking side of things as well. Going to like local meetups and business meetups, there's always thousands or like lots of planned events around you. I've made really good connections with different business owners in all sorts of different industries, like financial planning, insurance brokers, finance brokers, loan broker, like all that sort of stuff. And you know, that goes a long way in understanding how other businesses work. And also just being able to assist you for your clients as well. If you know that they're going through a problem, that you might know somebody that can help them, and that can really help create a joint partnership in a way, where you can refer on business to each other. So yeah, I think networking is extremely important, and also just meeting other people and getting their insight into things, I think is pretty invaluable.
Absolutely. I think networking is almost number one. A lot of people are kind of skeptical reaching out to businesses on Google unless it is recommended from someone else. So if you are wanting to start out kind of thing, attending those local events, entrepreneurial events, or your little council meetings and stuff like that, and just pitch what you do. And you'd be very surprised that people actually will come up to you after your pitch and be like, hey, can you actually help me with this? I've been wanting answers, for example, in IT for it. Like my website's not fully working right now. Here's my card, can you help me out? It's as simple as that. And I think a lot of people don't do that, especially in the Gold Coast. The entrepreneurs on the Gold Coast, they just wish and hope kind of thing.
Well, yeah, and I think part of like that networking, that referral base is like people underestimate how powerful it is. Like the accounting business that I purchased, like they hadn't advertised for the last 20 years of operating. They they got all their business from the existing client base and the word of mouth from the great work that they were doing. And I've met other, part of that process of meeting other business, like accounting firm runners that they don't even advertise. Like they were getting all their business just from the word of mouth and referrals from other clients. So it's definitely a very powerful resource for sure, for whatever industry that you're in.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree. And in terms of networking, what about like goal setting for entrepreneurs? What do you reckon is most important for that?
In terms of goal setting, I think it's really like and from an accounting perspective, it's really understanding your numbers as well. Trying to understand like what a unit of time is worth, and really understanding your costs and your revenues and like where you want to be. I'm quite good at helping other businesses apply that for themselves, but a bit slack there for myself. But I definitely have my own goals and everything set out of what I want to achieve.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you're not tracking it, you're really not gonna get to where you want to be unless you're really measuring those things, because otherwise you're just sort of living life day to
Wishful
day.
thinking,
Yeah.
kind of. You hope to be somewhere, but you don't know the journey. Yeah, that's very interesting. I also think goal setting is very important. I guess when you're even in high school and stuff like that, or university, they always kind of ingrain in you, set some goals. You need to do
There's
this,
smart
and
goals
this.
and things like that. Yeah.
So maybe we kind of forget these kind of early learnings, but they are subconsciously there, but we never action it properly. And with any entrepreneur and business owner, it's very, very important to have those kind of goals. And circling back actually to all the books and stuff that you have read, in almost every sense or every chapter, it would say something about measuring your goals, kind of thing, setting the goal, measure the goal, and then work and overachieve, kind of thing. So, yeah, very good points there. Totally agree. Yeah. Thanks so much. This is, I guess, our very first episode, and really excited to have all these amazing people that we have lined up to come on to the podcast and have a chat to.
And if you're a business on the Gold Coast and you have something like interesting or want to share your experience, please reach out. We'd be happy to hear from you. And yeah.
Till next time, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.